Dishonored, that was the name of the game. So Dishonored 1 was fantastic. Dishonored 2, when it came out, it had such bad bugs that it was basically like a beta.
Okay. I think perhaps then the difference is that I don't ever really play AAA stuff. At least traditional AAA, as it were. I've got stuff like Deep Rock Galactic, Starbound, Terraria, Minecraft, XCOM, RimWorld, Risk of Rain. You get the idea.
Yeah, smaller stuff, which tends to be
Dwarf Fortress as well.
You say Dwarf Fortress?
Yeah.
Oh man, Dwarf Fortress.
I love these, like, you know, super passionately created and really deep games. That can be modded. That can be modded.
I have opinions about Dwarf Fortress.
What flavor of opinions?
I feel like Dwarf Fortress would be a fantastic game if it got a UI overhaul. And I don't mean graphics overhaul. I mean user interface.
You know that's coming, right?
I hope so, because like I played it, God, it must have been 6 or 7 years ago. I played it, had a lot of fun. You know, I looked up guides, I got my little thing going, I died a whole lot, like great. But the just like, oh, sometimes to make a rectangle you do this. Sometimes to make a rectangle you do this. Sometimes to select an area you do this. And I was just like, oh my god.
No, it's official. The Steam release, which is coming soon, it's in progress now and close to done, I think. A total UI and control overhaul. And graphics. Which I am extremely excited for.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Which is... I changed it off of RimWorld! Twitch!
It's a lot of anger there. Damn. How you doing? You doing okay?
I'm okay.
The hysterical laughter is not selling me.
Hi Solar Shade, hi Desk Up. Good to see you. Yes, Desk Up, I'm playing RimWorld. What was that about a tournament? I don't remember. Okay, well... how's Thoggo? Can you hear him?
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah? Sweet.
Nice.
Alright, I'm gonna stop watching myself on Twitch then. Tournament is in for another 7 minutes. We're basically just doing this to make sure that Thoggo is audible against me, because I'm not nearly as sexy.
It is true, the dulcet tones of my voice will cause anyone, no matter their preference, to be interested.
How heckin' scuff are we tonight? Hopefully not. Hopefully pretty unscuff. I did remove temporarily the thing about torturing me with jelly beans because that would be disruptive to the tournament. But other than that, the setup is complete. Do an announcement. Good idea. Wait, no, didn't... I thought Tartaflet set up a bot to automate stream announcements. Did it stop working again? Or are you talking tournament news? Because I can do that. Oh yeah, okay. Posted in tournament news. I'm using too many plosives. Gotta stop doing that.
Let's see. So I can see your stream. Do you want to like clap your hands or something so I can get a look at the lag?
What kind of lag we talking then?
I think it's like a 5-second lag. That's not great.
No, it is not.
I mean, maybe it's like 3 or 4. Actually, I think your whatever camera thing you had actually might have edited out the clap since I never actually heard the clap, but I saw it.
All right, 1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay, it's like a 3-second lag. That's not so bad.
That's not so bad.
That's not so bad. We can deal with 3 seconds.
But does it get laggier when I try to put you on the Discord?
That's a good question.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I should now be sharing my screen with you. Well, the game, that is.
Okay.
And you're gonna tell me how smooth this is, yeah?
Sure, I mean, it looks good so far. Let's see. Why don't you count down to firing your tack lances or something?
Oh, I just left it on AI. Okay. All right, going to fire the tack lances at that eagle now.
Oh, there's like no lag over Discord. That's great.
That eagle took like no shield damage. How dare you?
They're overrated.
I'm a big fan of laser light shows, honestly.
Yeah, it can be really good.
Now none of you can kill me. I'm just going to sit here for the next 3 hours. Hey Tart, how you doing? I don't know why you're asking for a mod list. That would apply to if I were streaming this normally, not for the tournament. But have fun with that mod list. It's very long.
Yeah, your mod list is insane. I'm looking at it right now. This is just nuts.
It's actually longer than that document because I haven't updated it in a bit. I'm running with something like 90, 95 mods, including...
I believe the youths would then label you a mad lad, if I'm up on the lingo.
This is why I consider myself to be fairly... not good with language, clearly. Nope, lost the sentence. No idea. Why is there a champion in the bottom of the screen? That's the cup holder. Obviously, sir. 95 doesn't truly sound that large. Is this the FTL soundtrack? Yes. Modded Laharl. Yes, thank you for noticing. There's basically no game I play, on stream anyway, that has gone unmodded. Heavily, at that. Right, no, that's why I felt fairly confident recommending JRE 8, because with this mod list, if it was gonna break, it was gonna break. At least I figure. I could be wrong. Computer's exploding from the mere description.
Okay, well, in our last 2 minutes, I'm going to top off my coffee, so I'll be back in like 60 seconds.
I'm gonna time you. Obviously those need to be ion beams. Who would ever not have ion beams there? Everybody loves ion beams. Ion beams are the best beams. Nobody needs gravitons. I'm just gonna sit back and watch this Paragon murder things and carefully judge my frames per second while it does. Those are for heavy needlers? No. Laser light show all the way. EMP laser light show. Clearly, top Starsector. Frames per second did not even dip. I guess I can rely on it. Good to know. Hey Rothgar, how you doing? That poor Dominator. I almost feel bad. Almost.
Ah, I have fuel. Coffee fuel.
Wait, I thought you already went and got coffee.
This is cup number 3. What do you want from me? They're small cups. They're like tea mugs.
Moderate on coffee, you said.
Look, it's I got my first COVID shot yesterday. I'm having coffee.
Clearly, we need more tachyon lances.
I really appreciate how good Guardians are now.
If you mean the Paladins.
Paladins, yes, they got renamed.
You must have been playing for a lot longer than I have then.
I'm an old fogey. Everyone can get off my lawn.
But yeah, I was always kind of a fan of Paladins just because... Well, okay, I don't care for the weapon sprite very much. It's not that pretty. But the lasers are pretty. You know, that array. I like the array.
Yeah. They're good now too. Like the fact that they fire over allied ships and have an AoE explosion, it's like really solid.
It is, it is. Well, desk up, my man. I believe we're ready to go. How do you feel? I do have the lobster bedding ready. How many battles went down so far? 0. You're the streamer? Recently launched the old 058A. It has not... I don't even know what some of the old versions were like. I should probably look into that. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. And that means... So, I mentioned this to Thog already, but I'll mention it again. Because I had to test to make sure this worked, my reaction to the First Fleet sadly went unrecorded. That's what Thog was for.
Yes, so I'm here to be suitably amazed when I see this. I have not seen anything yet.
So, for our first match, we have the Power of Love.
Seriously? You know, I am not even surprised. Not even surprised. That is a good set of 18 ships, right? Is it 18? How many is it?
Let's see, 5, 10, 17, I think.
Okay. You can tell that they started with full paragons and then did do some decreasing.
915 DP. Nice voice crack. I don't see you doing it.
Using.
So, I have a little thing here. Dorito is if you think they're gonna win, and no if you don't. Gee, I wonder how hard this one's gonna be. And everyone just gets a few lobsters to bet with. Now, while that goes on, we will examine the loadouts, which...
Beam guns, huh?
With harpoons, yes, and a lot of hull mods. Why does it have an expanded max? Wait, what? Why does it have expanded max? Oh, for the burst PDs. Okay. There's so few of them, though.
Oh man, it has expanded missile racks for 4 harpoons.
4?
I mean, I guess when you're bringing this many paragons, that's a lot of harpoons. Yes.
6 harpoons, sir.
Oh yes, sorry, my bad. I meant 4 small launchers, but you're right.
I thought I removed the expanded mags. You did not. It looks like some of them are a little different. Like this one goes for even more harpoons and then some paladins on the front.
Oh, front paladins. 4 paladins.
This one is a different fit as well. That's almost all PD and harpoons.
Huh. That might be good for mopping up the fighters at the end of the match.
It looks like they're all variations of those 3 variants, more or less.
There's a lot of paladins in this fleet. I mean, we were just talking about how they are pretty good guns now, but, you know, the Omegas have such strong shields. I'm a little bit worried.
Why does this Paragon have leftover OP and a nav relay?
Well, it is the wardrobe malfunction battleship.
I think it's exclamation point points. I haven't switched it yet. We also have Odysseys, which are paladins, Zyphos, which are just sexy, squalls, and harpoons.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, those squalls might make a big difference. I'm just trying to batter the shields down.
We have champions with some more beams, another paladin, and another squall.
There's so much PD in this fleet.
I think the intent is to burst them down, although I don't think that was necessary with 10 paragons!
Also, given the name of this fleet, I just have one thing to say. The power of love is a curious thing. Makes one man weep and another man sing. Change a hawk to a little white dove. More than a feeling, that's the power of love.
I've got the song queued up on YouTube to play it during this fight, if I felt saucy enough.
Nice. Well, shall we get to it?
I love Orpheus, Deimos, Osiris, Bread and Roses, Brono, Sobek, Mira, Psyche, Gunrunner, Jotun, Hypericity. I love Satyr, Delta Dusker, Bloody Rictus, Thunderchild, Two Please, Suyu, and Mjolnir. You love Mjolnir, you didn't mount any. I forgot to cut the bedtime down. That's okay, I don't think it's any question. Who's gonna win this?
You know, I kind of want the Doritos to win. I mean, what? No.
Here we go.
God, that's so many paragons.
Doritos versus donuts.
Meanwhile, look at that. The shield radius on the Odyssey is so big.
It is. It's
They're
because
just
the
like,
thing is
"Run, run."
tall.
You know, the instant those paragons turn on their shield, the whole line is going to spread out sideways.
Think so.
Well, look how close they are. They can't, like...
Yeah, I mean, two of them are already bumping each other. It's kind of funny just seeing that many paragons in a line.
And first contact, look at those beams.
Oh,
Wow.
that is
were the
so many
harpoons-
harpoons!
Were they in linked weapon groups?
I think they might have been. Christ, they don't stand a chance.
That makes sense. You know, I have a funny feeling that this fleet is slightly overbuilt. A little bit.
You think?
Yep. Yep. Although it's smaller Doritos are doing better than I expected. They're not doing well, but they're doing better than I expected.
Well, they didn't get caught in the initial focus burst. It's more spread out now.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to focus the camera. It's just going to be a series of explosions.
Yep.
There goes
There we
one
go.
of them. Extra points for beating them in less than 3 minutes? I don't think so, otherwise somebody would have just come in with a 30 Paragon fleet. Or maybe a 30 Onslaught fleet. Could technically burn in faster with that.
The initial harpoon barrage was really effective. You know, I'll give it credit for that. It did pop the two cruisers very quickly.
I think most missiles would have popped the cruisers fairly quickly. At that density.
Oh, I wonder if anyone's going to do a pure Griffin fleet. That would be,
That would be cheesy, but that would be fun. This is not peak missile spam. You're right. How are you still alive?
Well, the beams are not particularly effective. Like, they're not awful, but...
I mean, with that many beams, though, they eventually beat out their dissipation values. Especially with the squalls.
That it? Are we done?
Guess so. I guess it doesn't count as over until they kill the fighters?
Yeah. Remember that the Omega fighters are pretty tough, just not against this many paladins. Well, that was a shellacking. A right proper beatdown.
So, who was surprised by the results? Somebody bet the Doritos would win. I am so sorry for whoever you were. Alright. Pardon me while I just copy this over, adjust the time limit. And then
so they
we'll
did
see.
beat it in under 3 minutes.
Now, that was Aster. Aster obviously won. So Aster's now safe as long as everyone else bet low enough to get killed.
So our first fleet was 7.8 million credits. Our next fleet... wow.
Is about half DP of the first one. Per aspera ad astra by Astraltor. What do we have here? Well, we've got Griffins, outfitted with a variety of missiles, mostly Sabos.
Interesting to see that lone harpoon there.
Yeah. I guess it's just there to augment the Hurricane, since the Hurricane can be a bit slow.
I guess so, yeah.
Where the salvage rigs, you cowards. Where's Hero Dram?
You know, I like the heavy machine gun on these, because you just know that the Omegas are just going to get in ultra close. That's what they do.
They do, they do. We've got champions again, this time with Needlers, Auto Pulses, and Squalls once again.
Okay.
There are so many mounts being left empty, and it's making me itch.
I mean, Lee has a strategy, I guess.
We have an Auto Pulse Needler Tachyon Paragon with a Heavy Burst Laser and a Phase Lance in the back?
Oh, that's interesting. So they wanted to compromise between having some Burst Beam and PD. So they went asymmetric. That's okay. I've done things like that. It looks funny, though.
A Plas Cannon Auto Pulse Odyssey with Sabos and a Squall. A Zyphos and a Longbow. Quite a few Odysseys. A different version of Champions with a Tachyon instead.
I do like tax on champions.
A single Harbinger with a tactical laser, 2 Reaper torpedoes, and nothing else.
What? Is it just... Oh, I think I know where they're going with this. I think they want the ship system to activate, but they want it to stay out of danger. I wonder if it's timid or cautious, you know? We can't tell from here.
It's called the Witness Me Troll Destroyer. So, I imagine you might be right. They've also got the High Mom Tempest, which is 1 Ion Beam, 1 Salamander, and nothing else. And the Hot Binary Stars Near You, Red Line, Speed Racer 2008. I imagine the Tempests are supposed to be distractions. I think they're going to get jumped on and killed, though.
We'll see. I mean, they do have their high speed. They've got Ion. They might survive.
Dawnbreaker, Furry Portrait Pack, Catgirls Unlimited, Know Your Limits, Banned from Margo, Why Did You Make Me Do This? Omega? Lomias, Larnier of Wind, Aura Deviation, Obtain a Difference, Knows Where It Wasn't, Knows Where It Is. I always appreciate that effort put into the names.
Me too.
Alright, well.
Astraltor versus Doritos!
I should have started the bet while we were looking at the loadout, but oh well. I'll start it now. And I will add more lobsters. And we'll just wait a moment for that to go before I start it. I don't actually know, though, what the outcome here will be. Like, it was obvious with the other fleet, right? I mean, they've got a Paragon, 4 Odysseys, and a bunch of cruisers. I would imagine they win, right?
There's a lot more missiles in this fleet.
That's true. They are very, well, very well, Haralkar. Very heavy, specifically on Sabos. Which might be enough. There is a defense Tesseract, though, that's true.
Now, are the variants on the Omegas, are they random for every battle, or is it the same random set that everyone has to fight against?
I don't know. I know the ones we're looking at right now are a strike and a defense variant, which is theoretically bad for this fleet. If those are the ones we actually fight, I don't know.
Okay.
Same
Well, I
set
guess
would be
we'll see.
unfair otherwise. Oh. So
Okay,
everybody's
so
fighting
same
one
set.
strike and one defense then. How check lobster amount? Exclamation mark points, I believe. I need to set it to be exclamation point lobster. Yes.
I think this fleet's going to do pretty well.
Alright. I will need to set the betting time lower, I think, because I don't want to lag things too much. Imagine one fleet dealing with this, another with attack and attack too. Fair enough, yeah. Tigger, let me look at you. It feels like you've got like you've scratched yourself open. Yes, you have, you idiot.
I suppose this would be a good opportunity for me to do a dramatic reading of something.
Tigger, we're gonna have to put the embarrassing collar on you. You can't scratch your own throat open. Go over there for now.
Cat, 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 cat.
Tigger's very sweet and she wants my attention. But she is clearly scratching herself far too much, so she's gonna have to have a giant collar put on her arm.
That's no good.
Will there be a Chad 18 frigates fleet? There'd better be.
I'm excited to see the matches. Like, I really think this fleet's going to win. I'm excited to see the later matches where people are really pushing for low credits. All right.
Alright, I'll make sure not to let the betting go on so long next time. I do apologize. It's okay, we're only mildly scuffed so far.
So it looks like that Harbinger is going out front. So it's going to hit first along with the Tempest, huh?
Yeah, it's because they're going for those control points first. Matches are sorted by value. It seems like it so far, and
So the Tempests are kiting. I think definitely not aggressive personality.
the Harbinger's just staying in Fade, being a distraction, I suppose.
I mean, you know, it's drawing its attention, it's drawing its flux, it's making it vulnerable. Ooh, that Griffin's in trouble.
Yeah, the Griffin is not in the place it wants to be.
I think that's
And they're not-
Griffin on this.
My god, it has two Odysseys firing at it, along with two Squalls, and it just does not break. I hate these things so much.
Yeah, that was nasty. The Harbinger's dead. It was off screen, but it got popped by something. Oh, this is not going well. This is really not going well.
I hate the Doritos so much.
The Odyssey is pushing the Griffin forward a little bit.
Yeah, this one is not doing well. This thing has been pressured so much, but it just has not been broken at all.
You know, I don't think the Griffins have linked weapon groups for their Stavos. They need linked weapon groups so that they're spamming out the missiles as much as possible. Oh, that one's going down though. That's
Yeah,
one.
it looked like it got salamandered and couldn't bring its weapons to bear.
You know, every once in a while, Salamander really does the job.
I keep telling people that salamander's the best thing ever.
You know, I think the best thing that could happen for this fleet is if that Dorito on the bottom left doesn't get popped.
Yeah, if
Because
they can
then-
take care of these other things first, that'd be good. Which might happen.
Right.
This Odyssey basically EMP'd it out for a little bit there.
Yeah, if they can just handle everything else and then destroy that Tesseract, that would be great.
I think the Odyssey's
Uh-oh.
going to go down first, though.
Oh, it is. It got overfluxed.
It's holding its own, but it can't. Nope.
Oh, wow.
That was fast.
A lot of DPS all of a sudden. But then again, that's what Omegas do. I am a little
Is it just
bit-
me, or does every time Alex add things that are meant to be challenges, it's just Alpha Strike? And even faster.
Wow. That is how to make powerful ships.
I'm not going to start complaining. Blame Temporal Shell.
The only thing that really surprised me again about the Magus was just how good their anti-fighter is. But on the other hand, if that wasn't the case, then you could just swarm with fighters and it would be, you know, kind of a trivial fight. So what do you think? Do you think this fleet is going to win?
They've got enough power to theoretically win.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So there's a good overload on that Tesseract from some Sabos. And then they followed up. So both of the Tesseracts are now dead.
They've got a couple shards left over there, and then these bits. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think they're going to win too. Especially because there's that Paragon anchoring things. Even if the rest of the ships take heavy losses, these kind of light ships, I don't know if they can get through a Paragon.
They might if the Paragon didn't have any help at all, and they are taking out... They are continuing to... I'm surprised that Griffin's not dead.
Yeah, oh,
Never mind.
That Griffin just put its shield down. It could have lived there. They tried to get fancy.
They lost a single cruiser? What are you on, Tart? There's a dead Odyssey over there.
They've lost a lot. There are a lot of losses for this fleet. I do agree that they're going to win.
They'll win, yeah.
Another shard went down. I think my only real criticism is that the missiles weren't linked, and that would have helped a lot.
Yeah, all they've got to do is take out these shards and the resultant fighters at this point. They've got roughly enough PD to do that without too much trouble.
Yeah, they'll get the win. I was pretty worried in the beginning, though.
Yeah, it looked like some of their attempted tactics just got smacked in their face pretty hard.
Yeah, the Harbinger died off-screen and just dead.
I didn't expect the Harbinger to die, which is why I wasn't paying attention to it. A mistake on my part. Well, come on, kill it.
I'm pretty happy with the Odyssey's performance. One of them got popped, but it's an officerless, no officer ship going against a Tesseract solo. I mean, yeah, I was surprised it lived as long as it did.
It does bother me how completely dominant officers are, though.
They're real good. Real good.
I prefer if, like, an officer's value be because they improve the AI of the ship. That would make sense. And then I wouldn't be so mad at certain ships making stupid decisions. What is the mod making the plasma shots look so pretty? That's either light show or graphics lib. Or Alex making better AI? I think that's one of the next things that needs to happen to the game, personally. But I'm not gonna diatribe too much. So, 2 Griffins, an Odyssey, the Harbinger. Surprisingly, no other losses, though. Trailer moments? Yeah. Trailer moments, yes, thank you. I'd forgotten.
That fleet did pretty well. I suspect it had some bad luck with the Griffins getting isolated right at the beginning. That's the kind of thing I imagine when you're testing, it doesn't always happen.
Indeed not.
So, Aster has been knocked off first place by a fleet half the size.
Yep. Which means our current victor is Astraltor, I believe. But can he stay there? Also, Aster, in fairness, you deployed 10 Paragons. How did you know somebody was going to deploy 9 Paragons?
You know, it would have been really funny if that was the only fleet to win.
I was kind of hoping the next fleet was just going to be slightly fewer Paragons, just Price is right 'em.
The Paragon is right!
Alright, so from 472 DP to 445. Very minor difference, but it's all midline this time.
Whoa, exciting. What kind of loadouts are we looking at?
Coming from the Peach Patrol, we have a Needler Tachyon Squall champion that looks basically identical.
Sure, yeah. Ooh.
An asymmetrical Conquest sporting Storm Needlers and Maulers on one side and nothing but Devastators on the other. Harpoons
that
and
ion.
Hurricanes and an Ion Beam.
I like that Ion Beam. I'm a big fan of an Ion Beam in that slot on Conquest.
I am generally a big fan of Ion Beams just in general. So those are all the same. These Conquests are also the same. We have Griffins this time with Harpoons, a Hypervelocity, Light Assault Guns, Swarmers, and a Hurricane.
Interesting. So this is... Could you check the weapon group for me real quick?
Certainly.
Okay, they're not linked. That's what I was wondering. Cool.
They seem like sort of split focus Griffins, really.
It's still a lot of HE potential, so hopefully they'll lay down a lot of fire and get those kills.
We have Total Harpoon Drovers with longbows. 4 of those.
Sabos are good. Sabos are a good choice, but like the Tesseracts and their smaller shards have such good anti-fighter. It'll be interesting to see if those, if those fighters survive to fire their Sabos.
Yeah, it's technically credits. I am used to going by DP. I apologize. So, okay. They're going for a heavy mid-lane thing, mostly balanced loadouts. I'm not sure how well it'll work, but I'm definitely curious. And I forgot to start the betting again. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it go for exactly 1 minute this time.
The dual Storm Needlers is a lot of DPS. If those ships can get in range with nothing blocking their fire, that could bring down the shields real quick.
It could, and it is being backed up by Maulers, so they could theoretically back it up with damage, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. My only worry is that Conquests are fairly fragile, and Tesseracts have a ton of Alpha Strike.
They
So I
were
could
given hardened
imagine-
shields, but you're right.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it could happen. That if a Conquest gets isolated, it just gets popped.
And I think we're probably going to see that happen at least once.
Yeah. And a worst case scenario would be, for example, like a Drover gets in the way of a Conquest firing. That would be just painful.
Peak pain, yep. Alright.
Big old midline fleet.
I do appreciate seeing the midline. Thank you for following person named Sunders. Wait, is that a mix of Tsundere and Sunder? You're one of Protonus's fans.
I really want a joke ship. I really want one of these joke ship mods to have a Sunder class, where it's a Sunder, only it has special sound effects. Maybe anime eyes or something. I don't know.
Sound effects, you say?
Well, I don't know. Just like, imagine every time you hit high energy focus, it says, "It's not like I like you," and then the Tachyon man fires. Ooh, so we got... Okay, so the Conquests are firing. We got 2 Conquests firing at this thing.
Yeah, the one Conquest already doesn't have flux, though.
True. Look at all those HE missiles.
That is good. They might take it out fairly quickly.
I think they are. It's overloaded.
A Griffin's dying over there, but yep.
Yeah. But it's not dead yet.
Not yet.
I'm surprised. Is that the point defense? Is that the defense Tesseract down left?
I think so. I can't tell them apart the Griffin's dead too easily. But I think it is.
Gotcha. Well,
Because
it
I
looks
think the defense
untouched.
one is the one where all the weapons look like, corrupted ice cream, right?
I guess.
What else do you want me to call it?
I'm not in the tournament. I haven't been staring at Omega builds like other people have been.
It looks like alien ice cream.
So far this Tesseract is handling everything the fleet is throwing at it and not even, it's not even flux stopping. it's absolutely fine so far.
Yeah, they're using up all their missiles on it.
Ooh.
That thing is getting
That's
kind of
nasty.
poked by the Conquest. It's trying to take out something more vulnerable. They might lose a few more cruisers.
I think they definitely are.
Champion down. It's not a guaranteed win for them yet. I don't think.
That drover's about to eat it.
Yep.
Oh!
They might be relying
just
just a little too heavy on missile saturation.
Well, you know, one of the things is that the Omegas are so mobile and they love going after backline ships. Wow, just look at it. It's skirting around there. Although now those dual Storm Needlers are lowering its shield.
At the moment they are. It's not taking any damage though.
True.
And it is pressuring the poor Conquest.
Oh, that's an overload.
One of
And
those
there he
hurricanes
is.
did something real weird there.
Oh, that was a perfect Sabo overload HE follow-up.
And the destroyer's down.
Yeah, that was a good missile barrage for this fleet.
Having said
Conquest is
that,
definitely
they've taken
gone down,
advantage
though.
of this to outnumber the Conquest, and that one might die.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. There it goes. I think this fleet's gonna win. I think it's taken some nasty losses, but it still has what, 3 conquests left. It's gonna win.
3 Conquests, which are mostly in good health, if missing some armor.
Yeah.
Griffin died. I didn't even see what killed it.
It was just the destroyer on the left, just bursted down. There goes another shard. So they're winning. They're winning.
Yeah, it looks like they'll have it. That drover might die, though.
I think there's a scary moment where the defense tesseract hadn't gone down yet. If it hadn't overloaded and it just kept kiting, then things might have gone really south. But it did. It's dead. They're gonna win.
You think you're next? Well, you've gone too far below this Rothgar because it looks like we're nearing the edge of where the Doritos just win. It doesn't... Once they have the advantage experience, you've lost.
You know, I am actually pretty impressed by these fleets. I know they're big, but they don't have officers, and they're doing surprisingly well.
I think I mentioned this to you. My first campaign experience with these frickin' things, I had a very large fleet with officers, and I didn't kill either of them or even get close to killing them.
Youch.
It wasn't like a high-level fleet, but it wasn't a weak one. No extra points for survivors. Every ship is expendable. Switch the variants to 2 attack 2.
Ah, those ion beams. Ion beams doing work.
Ion beams are lovely, lovely. We're superior to squalls. I'm not super fond of either, but then I just don't like limited missiles because I don't trust the AI to use them.
Oh man, no wonder your fleet got wiped. You're not using missiles.
Like I said, I am intensely familiar with the AI, and I have seen far too many missiles just wasted. I prefer sustainable options. Salamanders, auto-loading things, like micro-missiles. Or, the SPLs off of BlackRock. Which are
My
really
feeling is
sexy.
that-
I love the SPLs.
My feeling on missiles is that if even half of them hit, then they're doing a really good job. But, I don't know. Sustainable works too, I guess.
I prefer sustain just because of the nature of the fights I get into. And my total lack of trust in the AI. So they lost a champion, a conquest, a griffin, another griffin, 2 drovers, but they did win.
We have a new champion, at least for now.
You should try PRV. Mate, I run with 95 mods. Of course I have PRV on. The Kajas are sexy, thank you. Love those things. So the Doritos are dead. Most of you guessed correctly on that. Not all of you.
2/3 of bets, but 91% of the pot. 92% of the pot.
All right, let's see what we have next. So we're at roughly 3 million credits and 445 DP right now. Going to nearly the same amount.
Wait, is this the same credit cost too?
It's only slightly off.
Speaking of Price is Right,
Yeah.
it's like a couple thousand credits less, right?
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Look at it. Okay.
Wow, it's even 4 conquests. Oh, very different build though.
Very different build. We got mining lasers for cheap DP, hypervelocity autopulse, hammer barrage, really.
I'm sorry, mining lasers.
Look, when you need a cheap option, and they look
When
nice
you need
anyway.
cheap option that does more damage to your own flux than it does to the enemy.
Yeah, at least they put something in the mount.
I disagree. I disagree with you, sir.
An empty mount is nothing but a representation of the broken dreams of the weapon that could have been mounted there. Hammer barrage, though. Hammers are kind of slow and hard to aim. I don't imagine that would work well, unless they're like right in their face, which might be why it doesn't have ITU, come to think.
Wow, no ITU. No ITU, but HVDs.
Schmodo Schmaggins, Schmam Schmangi, Schmurgen Schmoot. Schmeriadoc Schmardiak!
Well, I'm officially going to throw down my Shade card on those builds. We'll see if they work. I do like the Hammer Barrage, but I think they should have gone Heavy Needler instead of HVD if they're going for close range.
We have a very similar Griffin to the last one, except it's got some hammers on it. Did you just call hammers slow? Yes, I did. Also heretical. Go shaft yourself with a hammer.
Could you check the weapon group on this for me?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Are the Sabos? The Sabos are not linked to a weapon. Okay, I'm just waiting for someone to link their Sabos to a weapon.
And the Sabos themselves are alternating, as well as the hammers, actually.
Interesting. So these are very low hull mod Griffins, not even ECCM.
We got hammers switched out here too, and we've got Gladius.
Oh man, I don't know how I actually like Gladii these days, but like Tesseracts have so much EMP arcs that I don't think those fighters are going to do much.
I remember this time. Yeah, the Gladius is... it's not bad, but I don't think it's a heavy enough fighter for this purpose.
You know, I'm a little worried about this fleet.
We have symmetrical conquests, though. Symmetry is good. Mjolnirs and Hellbores.
There's no kinetic on this conquest.
There isn't.
Oh no, there's squalls. It's got squalls.
It does. Those are missiles, though. I'm curious. Okay, they did make sure to separate the broadsides. Kind of. They didn't separate the point defense broadsides, but they separated the main weapon broadsides.
I think that's okay.
For conquest. I personally am a big fan of symmetrical conquests, but combined with the way the rest of the fleet is set up, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure why they're using hammer torpedoes, honestly.
Well, hammers have really high DPS. Like it's a ton of outcoming damage, but I'm concerned about how little kinetic this fleet has.
See, anywhere that you would use a hammer, I would have used a Reaper.
Well, Reapers have so much ammo, but their reload time is so slow that I do like hammers better than Reapers for this fight.
I suppose so.
Because like, what are these hammers for? These hammers are for the initial clash with the Omegas, with the Tesseracts.
I guess I can see that.
Well, we'll see.
If people properly tested their fleets, these bets should be automated? I am not sure what you are on about. Alright, well, only 2 seconds left. Let's just jump in.
Yeah,
I would like them to win.
I'm a little worried. You know, maybe I'll eat those words, but I'm
Hammer
a little
over
worried
Reaper,
here.
you are objectively wrong. For starters, the Reaper looks way better. That beautiful red glare. Okay. My biases aside, Griffin, you are sorry, champion. You're pointing the wrong way. Turn around, sir. Why is it floating in sideways? Look at it.
The Griffins are doing it too.
One of the Griffins was almost backwards.
How strange. Okay, we got a lot of missiles coming in. Here are the squalls. Are the squalls going to be enough to bring his shields down? It dodges the hammers.
Yeah, the hammers didn't do anything. And that Griffin is a single shot from death. And all the squalls aren't really helping. I mean, the Gladii, it's kind of helping cover them, but they're not doing enough damage and they're all dead. Okay, well.
Yeah, that was... If the Tesseract can get out and retreat... Oh, Griffin dead on the left.
Yep.
If the Tesseract can get out and vent...
Which it did.
Yeah, there it goes. It's venting. So that Tesseract on the right basically took no damage from that charge.
Nope. And that champion is now being victimized.
Yep.
There goes another Griffin.
There goes another Griffin. And that remaining Griffin on the right has no hit points, so it's going to go down.
Yep.
Yeah, there it goes.
So now we get to see if the Conquest, the way it's set up is a good idea, which I don't think...
That Conquest is overloaded.
We might be looking at our first loss. If the Conquest had done a better job of protecting the ships earlier on. Christ, the amount of damage those things do in such a short time.
Yeah, those are those the Chronoblasters that did that? I didn't quite see.
It looked like giant icicles, I'm going to assume so.
That's another Griffin down. Oh, that's a problem.
No, I think the loadouts were wrong here.
And you know, this Tesseract on the left is taking some damage. You can tell that the ion from the HVDs and from the squalls have knocked out a couple weapons, but it's not going down fast.
HVDs are always good. Every hammer hit there. That was surprising.
Yeah, that was a good hammer barrage.
They've taken out that Tesseract, but this one's just victimizing other ships.
Yeah, it's gonna take out both these ships. There's not enough kinetic to pressure their shields. And
the Gladii aren't mattering at all, so the Drovers are almost just wasted space. What are the results so far? So far, nobody's lost, but that's so far.
I'm suspicious here. This is not going well.
This Conquest is by itself. It cannot handle that.
Oh, yeah.
If this other Conquest came over and helped... I just saw that Conquest shoot a Mjolnir right into the Drover's face.
Oh man, that Conquest is really lucky that the Tesseract changed targets to the Drover. The Drover's gonna die, but like that Conquest overloaded
at exactly the wrong time.
That's just gonna clean up the whole back line.
Yep, another Drover down. Not that the Drovers were helping much, but that's still not good.
Well, I feel like those Drovers were an extra life for the other Conquest. My god, that Tesseract does so much damage.
I hate them so much.
You know, I'm gonna call it. This is a loss.
Goodbye, Griffin. Goodbye, Conquest.
Yeah, there's not enough kinetic damage in this fleet.
Yeah, no, I think this is a loss. These things are insane.
Well, you have to flux them up. You got to get that shield pressure on. Because their weapons are pretty expensive, so if you can stop them from firing, then you're okay.
They have the mobility to just bugger off, vent, and come right back, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
And they vent really quickly on top of that.
Yeah. We saw that HE missiles, after an overload, can do a good job, but that's,
That's for every case for every ship in the game.
Well, yeah, but, like, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Of course, if you overload something and you take something big and explosive, shove it right up its arse, it's going to do some damage.
Hey, I'll have you know that my arse is immune to explosives.
Is it really now?
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, you want to explain how you managed that? Is that Drover the last ship remaining? That's hilarious. Goodbye.
Sweet Christmas! I love combat chatter.
I love it too.
Okay.
It's so good.
That's a loss. We have our first loss.
Somebody pointed out that the Hellbores weren't ever going to hit much. Possibly not. See, this is why Particle Accelerator is the best hull mod ever. Well, about 2/3 of the audience correctly guessed that the Doritos were going to win that one. So I guess it wasn't surprising once the loadouts were seen. Alright, first loss. So that means that any fleets cheaper than this are going to have their work cut out for them, really. It's
Yeah,
coming
so
down to
we're going-
loadout talent now.
So we're going from 2.93 million. What's our next fleet?
2.8, but significantly fewer DP, I notice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing some onslaughts here. I do like low-tech ships, although I think that Legion is going to get its ass kicked.
Hegemony Spec Ops Strike Force, I like that.
I don't like Legions versus Doritos.
There is a Legion. Okay.
Although a lot of missiles.
Is that Nebula intentional?
Oh. Do we have a
Yes.
bad variant?
Maybe.
Well,
It's Lightning's fleet. Lightning? It is? Okay.
alright, so we have one distraction / posing.
So we have a Legion with a couple of Mark 9s, which is a good gun. It's sporting Warthogs and Broadswords, and some Harpoons.
We'll see how those fighters do. There's so much EMP. So many EMP arcs coming off of Tesseracts.
An Eagle with heavy autocannons, mortars, ion pulsar, gravitons, sabot. Pretty nice, pretty varied, actually.
Yeah, the only thing that's a little confusing to me there is the gravitons. I suppose it's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
just that-
This Eagle's different. It has 3 autocannons and a pulse laser.
Oh, interesting.
Slightly different Eagles. We have a Mora sporting mostly sabots, more broadswords, and warthogs.
That could stall the enemy for a long time.
A Centurion with a sabot and some minor guns.
I think I would have liked to see an ion cannon on the Centurions.
I agree. We have an Onslaught with backwards-facing thumpers, Hephaestus, Storm Needlers on the sides, lots of flat cannons, lots of sabots, a couple of assault chain guns.
The only thing that really surprises me here are the thumpers. I don't know what you're going for with thumpers. I can see the idea of the side-mounted Storm Needlers, especially because the Omegas love to flank. So those could be a real good choice.
They could be. I'm not wondering why these aren't just flat cannons, though.
I don't know. Maybe it's genius. Maybe it's not genius.
We have a Monitor with an antimatter blaster.
I'll take it. That works.
We have a Meatball with a pretty normal build, really. Just some cheap guns and missiles. Perfectly acceptable.
Sure. You know, I really like putting Vulcans instead of Flax on my Enforcers recently. I know that's kind of heretical, but...
Yes, it is. We have another Eagle. It's that second variant of Eagle. Another Meatball. Got a Mortar Railgun Hammerhead with assault guns on the back.
Oh, interesting. So no point defense on this, but it might be able to shoot down the final stage fighters a little better.
Might be.
And a Nebula. Just a T-posing Nebula.
Why is this here?
You know, I don't know. It does cost credits.
You could have at least put, like, converted hanger on it. Or, like, unstable injector. Something. What could...
Well,
I don't know.
I actually don't think converted hanger is allowed. If I remember correctly, that's one of the banned hull mods.
Fair enough. Safety overrides then. Give me a safety override in Nebula.
So, what do you think? Do you think this fleet's gonna win?
Here's the problem, right? Because low tech depends a lot on being able to tank on their armor. But A, the AI doesn't handle that idea very well, and B, the damage output of those Tesseract things is just unholy. I don't think their armor is going to matter.
I do think that this fleet has enough sabos. Like, could you actually check one of the onslaughts? Could you check to tell me if those are linked weapon groups?
Absolutely.
I know I keep going on about linked missiles, but like...
The sabos are alternating.
Well, darn.
Very important to you, I know.
There's so much of a difference between 8 sabos all hitting at once versus kind of a string of sabos coming in.
In fairness, though, it also makes them a lot more vulnerable to area type point defense.
That's true. That's true. That is a consideration. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I forgot to distribute more lobsters.
I've seen a bunch of people betting that Doritos win. You know, I like this fleet more than I like the last fleet, so I'm actually going to say that this fleet wins. Who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just biased for low tech.
Why do I not remember the frickin' command? Pardon me 1 second. Because I'm an idiot. Issue with low tech. Yeah. Nice reason in your room, or is that our ghost moving your calendar? That would be whichever would make you happier.
I'm proof of the afterlife.
There, for the next contest, everybody has lobsters now. Right.
Alright, here we go.
I do prefer... I'm kind of fond of low tech, I have to admit. And I'm happy that somebody used the meatballs. Very important.
I am looking forward to Burn Drive being cancelable in the next update.
I've got a mate who, I've been talking about maybe doing a vanilla rebalance mod, mostly just because sabos exist. And he was going on a small diatribe with me about Burn Drive. And we were talking about alternatives to Burn Drive and how to improve it. And then that post came out, and we were like, yeah, no, that works.
Alright, so we have one Centurion just kind of tanking a whole Tesseract. That might do well. It's gonna die.
It's already overloaded.
But if it distracts it for long enough... Okay, so the Enforcer is doing its job. It's not dying. Oh, but it's overloaded. The question is... Where are the sabos? Fire your sabos.
Meatball, no! Tesseract's taking some damage, just not nearly enough.
Yeah.
It is taking a little EMP, though.
Alright, so Hammerhead's got decent DPS. There's 3 of them focusing at it.
Yep.
It's taking real damage.
They're doing a good job of, you know, flanking the Tesseracts at least. Another Centurion dead over here, and looks like shortly an Eagle's dead.
I wonder if these onslaughts are reckless or not. You know, these Hammerheads have done a darn good job. I think they're going to get the kill up north. Yep, that Tesseract's dead.
Yep. An Eagle is dead down here, so this side isn't doing so well. That poor thing's about to die as well. Although this is Centurion shooting its horse. Oh, so much for the Centurion. Turned right around.
Sabos are out down there.
So,
right,
3 onslaughts versus 1 Tesseract.
Yeah, I do like the side-mounted storm leaders are doing a lot of good.
All of those sabos were just deleted.
Yeah, that is the problem. You know, that is a long vent, but now that onslaught is back up.
Unfortunately, this thing can just back off.
Yeah. How's the rest of the fight?
Um, it looks like it's
pretty
going
well,
roughly in
actually.
favor.
Yeah.
One onslaught burned ahead of his friends and they didn't join him. That could be bad.
That could be a real problem. Well, the other onslaught's turning to engage that shard.
They might lose an onslaught.
That onslaught is not long for this world. You know, we have yet to see a lone capital take on a Tesseract and be able to survive.
Yeah, we've seen them. Oh, the Nebula's dead. It took that long.
No, not the Nebula.
I honestly forgot about the Nebula entirely and forgot to pay attention to it.
You know, these hammerheads are doing real good.
They surprisingly are. I mean, most of them are dead now, but...
Oh, that was a lot of EMP.
Alright, Onslaught's dead, but I believe this facet is as well. Unless it gets out of here real fast. Nope.
Yeah, the facet's dead.
This onslaught needs help now, though.
Flank the onslaught. You know, they're just having a lot of trouble dealing with this defense Tesseract. Like you said, the Sabos just keep getting deleted.
And as well, the low-tech armor doesn't matter with the damage output these things are capable of. Goodbye.
Wait, did that just chain kill 2 onslaughts?
It did.
No, that was just one onslaught.
Holy. They might yet lose.
Wait, was that a chain double kill?
Yes. That was 2 onslaughts in one.
I can't. I want to watch that again later. I don't know what just happened.
And an eagle's dead too. They might actually lose.
I think they might. The Storm Needler's doing good work down there. But it's just not enough.
I hate how I can't even see the flux rising most of the time from the effect of that needler. These things are so unfair.
Yeah, the Storm Needler's at 500
I hate them so
DPS.
much.
So that is 1,000 anti-shield DPS, and it just doesn't make a difference. Yeah, these onslaughts were built to rely on their sabos, and against the first Tesseract, that worked. But this one has 2 good point defense.
I'm not even sure that's the case because I didn't see a whole lot of sabos go out against the first one. They just managed to surround the stupid thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, Legion. You tried.
I do think that without officers, trying to armor tank these just doesn't work.
It doesn't help that officer skills are a mess at the moment, though.
They're not too bad. They're not that much stronger than they were last version, but they're very strong.
I apologize. I did not mean to imply that they weren't a mess last version as well.
That's fair.
Well, I think we're gonna keep seeing losses after this.
I'm gonna get more coffee, so I'll be right back.
Okay. I will wait for you. Before we see what's next. Fleet did better than the last one? That's true. Lohia made last stand for the stream's music. Thank you. I thought it was appropriate. I hate how the strike is useless. I was tempted to replace it with attack. Why did you choose the strike, Deska? If you don't mind me asking. Too bad there's no FTL mod? Yes, there is. What are you on about? It's quite good as well. It's got a neat mechanic too, how the shields get smaller. Intentionally made the choice to leave it random. I rolled 2d6 and got these variants. I respect that, sir. Mind if I post a link? A link to what, sir? To the FTL mod, that's acceptable. I kid, I make it. Okay. Bit overpowered, but it's good. I would have said underpowered, except maybe for the Kestrel. The Kestrel seems strong. I'm not sure it's overpowered strong, but it is strong. You know what? You know what it is? The Kestrel is massively annoying to kill. That's what it is. Composition is pretty interesting since the burritos are my current challenge. I'm not sure I'm even going to bother with them personally in my own campaigns. I might just circumvent it. It doesn't feel like what a challenge should be. Feels like one of those things where you load up a game and you pick super hard mode, and the super hard mode is just that the damage and the health values of all the enemies have been buffed instead of anything interesting. I don't know. I complain a lot.
I think that the fact that the Tesseract splits is a really cool mechanic.
That is. I will grant points for that. Alright, let's see what's next. We are going from 350 DP and roughly 2.8 million credits to 2.6 million credits and slightly more DP.
Okay. I see gremlins.
Ooh. Player skills aren't officers. Interesting
Someone
name.
will get disqualified.
Needlers, ions, plas cannons, tachyons, very offensive.
So I see. So okay. So they're going for IPDAI.
Why are they S-modded?
attack lasers. Wait a second. S mods.
Since when was the heresy allowed?
Yeah. Is this the wrong fight?
This is a showcase?
Ah, this one doesn't count. This one is just for fun.
Okay. Well, I want you to know that you're a sinner. And nuts to you. But we'll run it.
building in unstable injectors on the Paragon might be a good idea versus these enemies, actually.
We have like nearly unarmed gremlins just with a salamander sticking out of it.
Distraction boats for distraction?
Where'd the ordnance points go? It's got 5 on the salamander, 20 on the flux. Where's the other 10 coming from?
Oh. Are these just like bugged to all hell?
It's plus 10C? What's plus 10C? Player skills. Plus 10 capacitors. That's just not showing. Okay.
Huh.
So basically, it's a bunch of monitors and gremlins that are meant to not die, some paragons, griffins with harpoons and hurricanes.
Show me the weapon groups on the griffins.
Linked.
Yay!
Well, alright then. Should I activate the lobster betting for this, considering it's a showcase? I don't think I should, no. We're gonna go without that for this, because this is not technically a tournament entrant.
Let's see how these paragons do with 3 S mods. I was kind of saying last time that capitals alone have not been doing very well.
I mean, technically all the betting is just for fun, but I am being arbitrary is what I'm doing.
What Laharl is not telling everyone is that the lobsters can actually be redeemed on his OnlyFans page.
What would that even be? Just pictures of my hair, that's all it would be.
It would be Tigger. It would be your cat.
That's true.
Come on.
Tigger would also be on there. Oh, one of the gremlins is already dead. That's sad. That is a lot.
Now that is a lot of missiles. That is sufficient quantity of missiles. No, it's not a sufficient quantity of missiles.
Didn't
The
even
point
get it
defense
to half.
just eats it alive. But the EMP from the tac lances, though,
And the ion beams following up.
and the ion beams did a pretty good job. You know, these monitors are holding up very well.
They are. I think that's because they've been specifically built to do that, and that was also their design concept from the outset.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of ships just evaporate. The monitors are doing well. And something about the AI likes to focus on frigates.
Well, yeah, because they're supposed to be an easy kill.
Yeah. I would like to see more missiles flying. That's what I want to see. Okay, 2 Paragons focusing on 1 Tesseract. Can they get the job done?
Theoretically. I like how this monitor's just shooting flat cannons into its flank. It's not doing anything.
It's doing its job, though. It stopped it from retreating because it was behind it.
I think it's more that that thing's engines just aren't on.
Yeah, I think so. I think the combination of distraction plus heavy firepower plus lots of ion, it's doing it. It's really slow.
It's
But it's
slow,
doing
but
it.
it's working.
Yeah. I would like to see more monitors in later fleets. These are doing real well.
Where's the other Tesseract? Oh, it's over here killing Griffins. Don't know why all the
What?
Griffins are over there.
Yeah, the Griffins are alone. That's not ideal.
This is the strike variant, so it's more vulnerable to their missiles, but it's also much more capable of just killing them.
Yeah, that gremlin is doing its job. It's distracting.
I don't think it can last that long, though.
Yeah. If the
Poor
gremlin
thing.
can get out, vent, and then keep distracting, it could do its job, but I think it's about to die. Oh no, it's a good phase.
Phased
That
in
was a good
time.
phase.
Stayed phased a little longer than he needed. It's okay.
You know, the rest of the fleet, it needs to be mopping up there. I don't see the kills coming in.
Yeah. I mean, a few harpoons have come down, but not enough to get past defenses.
That remnant missile with the overload. It has so many hit points, it's so hard to shoot down that missile. Not remnant, Omega missile. You know what I'm talking about. The big old red ball of death.
Yeah. The Gremlin's certainly doing its job, I can't complain. It even allowed for some missiles to hit the thing.
Yeah, it distracted enough to allow for a missile strike to get inbound. That was good.
Go,
No, I think
Gremlin,
that-
go!
That Griffin upright is hurt enough that it's panic firing, which is really good. It just needs to keep firing. Oh, that red ball of death, though. Oh, it ran out of ammo, or ran out of fuel.
Look at that Gremlin go! It fires the salamander. Oh, the salamander died.
Hero Gremlin. God, those... You just watch the point defense trying to shoot down the missile. Try, and then it doesn't manage it.
The Gremlin is at 23 CR, though.
You know, the instant that Gremlin dies, these Griffins are dead.
Yep.
They can't survive without it playing distraction.
Nope.
Oh, and how many seconds until they're all dead?
Immediately
dead.
kills a Griffin.
You know, and the rest of the fleet, it's slowly killing stuff, I guess?
It's managed to pretty much reduce the enemy down to this
There's
frigate, but
another Griffin down. That monitor has 0 hit points.
I can't see the health bar! Bingo card. I don't think bingo's actually on. If it is, it was done without my knowledge. The Paragons, I think, are buffed enough that they are capable of handling this, though. Unless
Yeah.
they get isolated.
This is what's supposed to happen, right? There's supposed to be Paragons in front and the Griffins behind.
We will miss you, Hero Gremlin. even if you were
Yeah.
constructed with heretical methods.
This is so far the longest fight.
I think you're right.
There we go. Now the Ion took out its engines. It's gonna go down. There we go. Oh, that Griffin is dead though. Look at it.
It chose to vent. It thought it was safe. And who could blame it in most situations?
The AI definitely does treat the Tesseracts as dead until they split, and sometimes that can lead to bad decisions.
You'd think after the first couple of times they'd learn.
Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of AI.
Unfortunately. Hello everyone, it's me, your current champion. Was Beach Patrol the last winner? Let's see if you keep that title. I think you will. I don't think you can go much cheaper and still beat these.
Well, you know, I was amused when I saw the player list, because Ruben is coming up last.
Last?
Yeah, like he has the cheapest fleet, unless I got something wrong there. So I think Ruben's going for the victory, and we'll see if he can beat them with the cheapest fleet.
I expect great things from Ruben. I'm going to be severely disappointed if Ruben doesn't at least give us a good show. I remember what Ruben has been like in prior tournaments.
It's just going to be 2 onslaughts, but they're built so well that they clear the field. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I am excited to see what Ruben has done.
Well, I do think
maybe it'll be all kites.
These Paragons are going to clear the field. But this was a bit of a rough fight.
It was. Ruben was with one nebula. The Tesseracts are so confused by the nebula they shoot each other.
I think that Paragon might go down.
We'll
see if the fighters focus it.
It shouldn't, but it might.
Yeah. No, I think it's fine. It's fine.
Is that all that's left? Oh, this Paragon might go down. It's actually still got a bit left to deal with.
You know, we have been wrong. Ruben is alas, according to Sunders, and I'm very sorry about that. I did not know that.
Now I'm confused because I'm pretty sure I've seen Ruben referred to primarily as male.
Well,
I guess I could be wrong.
Unfortunately, that is the internet default for mostly ill. It's not a good thing. It's a bad thing.
You say that. I've known several girls who intentionally take advantage of that so that they don't have to deal with anything on the internet.
It's true. But isn't that like... I don't know.
That has more to just do with the kind of people you find on the internet. You know, anonymity is a powerful drug.
Yeah. Remember,
She heard tag on the Discord? Well, I apologize. This Paragon
gonna
is
go down?
high.
It's gonna be close.
PME cute bug photos. That's fluff, isn't it? Howdy. Bit late to the tournament? Just a bit.
I want that Paragon to go down. The Paragon deserves to go down.
No need to be aggressive about it, Ash. It deserves to go down, but it's not gonna.
True. There we go. I think that's the last shard.
I think so. I think all that's left is to kill the fighters that result from it. Any winners so far? Yes. Mainly because somebody started with 10 Paragons. Among other things.
Who is the current leader?
Peach Patrol, I think.
Cool.
You finally done? That took a while.
That was a pretty slow fight.
There's something left? Oh, there's a wing over here just harassing this monitor.
Oh, this is gonna take forever. You wanna speed this up with shift?
Yeah. Whee! That monitor has, like, no CR left. There we go. Okay, they lost everything except for 2 paragons and that monitor, which was about to die. And one of the aspect attack wings retreated?
I didn't know they could do that.
2 of them retreated. Okay.
Well, there we go. That was a nice exhibition fight.
Cowards. Okay. So, the last official entrant was at 350 DP and 2.8 million. Going to 1.9 million and 300 DP, 316.
So Archangel Mark V going for an Astral.
Also significantly cheaper than people who have been losing. Let's see what we've got.
Furies and Champions, both good heavy cruisers.
So we've got Shades, Tactical Lasers, Salamanders, and of course that EMP emitter.
So just aptly named Distraction Frigate.
Yep. We've got Champions with Tachyons, Hurricanes, and Pulsars.
Okay. Okay. Hardened shields and reinforced bulkheads.
The Astral is
there's
bristling with mining lasers and longbows and hurricanes.
Frickin' mining lasers.
Listen, at least they're there.
Could you check the weapon groups for me? I see a single tac laser. I wonder if they're... Nope, never mind. I thought it might be a weapon group trick, but it's not.
No, I assume that's just there to help keep them at distance.
Yeah. Well, I think 6 longbows is going to do some damage.
I hope.
Hopefully.
And then we've got Furies. We've got a Typhoon, a couple Tacs, and a couple Pulsars.
Okay. You know, this fleet has a lot of ion. There's a lot of ion happening here.
A lot.
If they can get a surround with the Shades and just keep the Omegas flamed out, that could be a good win.
I like how our current winner is asking if weapon groups actually affect the AI.
They do. So the AI will switch on and off weapon groups, but otherwise it controls weapons the same way the player does.
Weapon groups are, like, really important, I'd say. Alright. 1 minute of lobster betting?
So I see 2 different opinions in the chat. One person saying not a lot of shield busting on those Furies, and another person saying I don't think there's enough anti-armor. So there's some split decisions here in the stream.
I think they've got sufficient anti-armor with those Typhoons on there. Plus, I mean, with Pulsars, it doesn't matter if you don't have HE if they can't move.
I keep saying things like this, but I have a good feeling about this fleet.
They've got a lot of Shades, and I'm curious how that's going to work. We saw what a Gremlin could do when it flew correctly. Because all that Gremlin's other Gremlin friends died rather quickly. He survived.
Hero Gremlin.
A surprising number of bets that this fleet will win. Only problem with Reapers is the PD. Yeah. Reapers need more health, I think. Not too much more, but just a bit. Either that or these things PD just needs to be nerfed. Will not win. I like how this will not win. Of course this fleet will win. Right next to each other. Alright. Let's find out. Those Shades might make this, or they might all die immediately.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, without any capitals, this fleet is a bunch more mobile than a lot of the fleets we've seen.
Aside from the Astral, which is slow as ours.
Oh, right, I forgot the Astral. But, like, the Astral doesn't want to be close, right? Like, if the Astral is close to the Tesseracts, then it's gonna have a bad time.
Shade's already had its face melted off, but not dead yet.
Yeah, not dead.
They're certainly harassing the enemy, but their friends aren't here yet.
Yeah, they are distracting. Oh, one down.
One down, out of 7.
You know, it's... On the one hand, they're distracting really well, but if they're distracting without any damage happening, then they're just going to get whittled down.
One of the Furies just lost almost all its health, and I'm not sure why.
So, I think it got caught somehow in the explosion radius from one of the big old red missiles of death. It just shielded wrong. Oh! That Tesseract is completely flamed out.
Yeah, I managed to kill a Fury, though, and they're not able to catch it.
Yeah...
Thank you, man, Typhon! Back to the tournament.
It's already... All its weapons came back on so quick because it has the officer skill. It looks like those longbows released too soon. I don't think those sabers are going to make it. Yeah, those sabers weren't even close. Ooh, this is not going well.
Nope, not even a bit. I mean, the other Tesseract is distracted from the main force of the fleet by all the shades, so that's thing. But if these cruisers aren't able to crush this Tesseract, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think whoever said there's not enough anti-shield is correct.
You say that, it's been fluxed out nearly this entire time, it's just killing them anyway.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is, like, I don't know, it's not enough firepower on it. Not nearly enough firepower to be inbound.
Plus, I swear every time it builds up soft flux, it immediately dumps the soft flux into the void somehow.
There it goes. So that's one Tesseract down. Pretty high cost, but that was the most dangerous Tesseract. That was the one with the heavy ordnance.
Yeah, this one is still distracted by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades?
Well, there's a big Sigma barrage coming in. Oh, it took some damage there. It took some HE damage.
How are we doing over here? Fury dead.
Oh, God. You know, these Furies have actually really been underperforming. I kind of expected better of them than this.
Yeah? Oh, I love the flamethrowers. I hate these ships, but I love the way the flamethrowers look.
I do have a love-hate relationship with these.
How are we doing over here? Pop! Oh, that's how.
Another shade just died.
That's bad. They need that shade to distract that Tesseract for as long as possible. Sections 32, 16, and 2 compromised. I don't think a shade has that many sections. Kinda small.
Oh, and that's another shade down.
Yep. Shard disabled.
You know, I think this is a loss.
Got 2 shades over here. The Astral's still up, and it has lost some health, the Tesseract.
Yeah, they've done some damage. Oh,
some?
Wow. It just messed up its shield. It could have taken all that damage on the shield, but it was distracted.
The shades are doing their job perfectly, more or less.
They are.
They don't seem to be quite as good as the Gremlins at it, oddly.
Yeah, I wonder if the Gremlins were set up with basically no weapons. So I wonder if they were just like max distraction.
A Fury went down.
Yeah.
Let's wander back over here. The fleet is massively separated, which isn't necessarily good.
Yeah. Well, if this side of the fleet can just take care of everything...
Which they're kind of doing.
Yeah, like...
So what matters now is what happens over here. Another shade is down. It's 1 shade and the Astral versus these 2 wings and the Tesseract.
Oh, the Tesseract got reinforcements from the wings. Yeah, that Astral's dead.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, no way you can stand up. Yeah, this fleet loses. Unfortunate.
The shade can't handle the attack wings either. If the shade can get back over here and help them, because they finished what they were doing, more or less.
Yeah, the North Fleet did okay, but it took a lot of losses, and I don't think they can take another Tesseract.
Bye, champion.
Yeah.
5 champions versus a Tesseract and some wings. You'd think 5 cruisers could beat 1 cruiser, but
no, it's more like a heavy capital with an officer. You know what I mean? With a super officer even.
It's a super capital with a super officer and it's super bullshit.
I also note that there are 0 kinetic weapons left. They don't have anything that can do shield damage.
Well, they've got a Tachyon Lance.
The Tachyon Lances are not anti-shield weapons. They are like 300 soft flux DPS.
And the Tesseract has almost no health left, but...
It's true that a lucky Tachyon Lance hit from the side, if the shield is distracted, could pop it.
Heavy as it flies faster than a Tempest. Yeah, good point. Cruiser equivalent of a Hyperion? I don't know. I was never as irritated with a Hyperion, even when all I flew was frigates.
That ship's been under fire from the lances and everything. Its flux just isn't budging. It's being a bit cautious, which is a little weird.
The speed at which it just dumps all the soft flux.
Well, it has a temporal system, right?
Yeah.
I think if these champions had any hard flux weapons, like they had plasma cannons, they might have a shot. But
They technically have hard flux weapons in the form of the ion pulsars, but...
that's true. The Tesseract is actually doing a really good job of kiting, I've noticed. It's really not closing in to super close range like I'd expect.
It doesn't need to. It can just pick them off at its leisure.
Yeah. Well, there's a timeout, so that'll change the AI behavior a little bit. You know, they might pop this Tesseract, but there's no way they can deal with
The results.
Oh, God, never mind. I was completely wrong. They cannot.
Nope. It was very, very close, but it is a loss.
Yeah, the Shades, you know, I can see what they were supposed to do, and they did distract for a long time. But that's all they did. They just distracted. There wasn't any punishment. So once they were dead, then, well, they're dead.
I say it was close, Prof, because this Tesseract almost did die, and that would have changed things quite significantly.
True. I think... yeah, I don't know. It was quite close. One more Merv strike from the Astral would have finished this thing off.
I think that was a near loss. And the bets were exactly 50-50, by the way.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't like using beams against these ones. They're just, except for ion beams.
Beach Patrol continues to be on top. Okay, so that was Archangel Mark with 310 DP and 1.9 million credits.
Who's our next contestant?
Alien Space Kappa with 1.8 million and 300 DP, just a tiny notch lower.
Well, I see a Doom. I see monitors. That's a good sign.
Afflictor. I see Falcons for the first time today.
Ooh, Falcons. That's an interesting choice.
Let's see what we got. We have a high-intensity hypervelocity Hurricane Champion. Thank you, Red Duck 12. Back to the tournament.
Never underestimate the AI's ability to turn its shield in the wrong direction versus a hill.
That's true.
You know, and that's kind of what it's there for. It's a constant pressure weapon. So if they can get a flank going, you know, I can see that doing some good.
Sabo Ion Graviton Hypervelocity Falcon.
Okay, so pure support Falcon.
I'm seeing a concentration of hypervelocity drivers, which I approve of massively. Ooh. Hello.
It's interesting.
Interesting fit. We have Mark 9s and Maulers on the one side, along with an ion beam. And then Devastators, a burst laser, and a needler on the other side.
I do really love the ion beam in that position. It's a good place.
We have distraction monitors. These are essentially the same as the heretical ones. Yeah, just completely... these are just meant to sit there for as long as possible.
Yep. I think it's a good call. Monitors have been doing even better than the phase ships were, or at least past monitors were.
However, on top of that, we have an Afflictor with a Needler, an Ambi, and a couple of hammers.
It could do a good job.
Entropy Amplifier might help here.
I've been wanting to see more Entropy Amplifier because against the Tesseracts, there's only 2 enemies. If you have 2 Afflictors, the enemy should be taking plus 50% damage like all the time. So I have been really surprised not to see more Afflictors.
And they do have 2 Afflictors.
And a Doom.
And a Doom, fitted out with heavy sabos and heavy blasters.
Can I see the weapon groups? I want to see if these are linked to the heavy blasters.
They're not linked to the heavy blasters, but they are linked in themselves.
Okay, that's better than nothing. I'll take that.
And of course, there is the ever-present Mind Strike, which I don't think will actually help here, but...
I like how the name of the Doom is obligatory.
Alright, everybody ready? Will the Doritos win? Lose, rather. Gotta be careful
your
about
bets.
I'm sorry?
Place your bets, everyone.
Yes, indeed. So far, the bets are that the Doritos win.
I think the Falcons, I'm of 2 minds about the Falcons, because on the one hand, they're very maneuverable for how tough they are, but they're not that tough. So I'm worried that the Falcons are just going to get popped.
Falcons are good, but they're not more mobile than the Tesseracts.
Right.
Is the problem.
I do think no fighters is a good call, though.
I would agree.
Fighters, only 9 wings is just not enough for how many fighters the Tesseracts can kill.
I would agree. I'd like to see the Falcons do well. I'm quite fond of them, honestly. But I do wonder. If they can act as support ships for, like, the Champion or the Conquest, that would work. I guess it'll depend partially on how good of a distraction these monitors are and how good of a support the phase ships are.
Right. Well, I can imagine a scenario where, like, the monitor distracts from the front and then the Doom puts mines behind. That could be real good.
I think they've got enough PD that the mines aren't going to matter, but I could be wrong about that.
We'll see. Ooh, could you take a look at the Doom? Okay, never mind. I thought it had unfazed on top of another ship, and I was worried it was going to take heavy damage.
I've seen that happen.
That would be real unlucky if, you know, your big expensive cruiser dies to collisions with friendlies.
I'd be half willing to give a... That Afflictor...
Oh, that Afflictor. That poor Afflictor.
Why did it unphase? Hey, Boss Girl. Good to see ya.
Okay. So far we have 1 Afflictor down. Mainly through bad luck, but that happens. That big old red ball of death is trying to kill the Doom. He's turning around. Run, Doom, run!
Dude, should just about avoid it.
That's good. This fleet is really bunching together. Monitor took a bit of damage there.
It did. Otherwise, it's doing okay. The other Afflictor is doing a decent job of being a distraction, but I just hope it doesn't unphase at a bad time like its friend did.
Yeah, okay. So that Tesseract is now being properly engaged. Its damage is boosted by the Afflictor. Oh, there's the hill!
It overloaded the Falcon, but the damage it is taking in return.
Yeah, so the hill got some shots in because the mines moved it. That red ball of death just one shot at the Falcon. It did all its health in 1 shot. Oh, the Conquest is dead. Oh, but the Tesseract got taken down too.
I hate how much damage those can output. I hate them so much. Alright, how's this Tesseract doing? It's being backed off. This thing can't seem to get past the monitors.
Yeah, the monitor is doing really well. That was the most powerful of the Tesseracts that just went down. I think that bit of luck there might be enough. We'll see. Because that monitor is doing perfect.
Yeah, it can't hold up forever, but...
So some Sabos just hit. We got a lot of missiles inbound.
It has high enough flux that the ion beams are arcing.
Yeah, I think it's not gonna get punished that much. It's gonna take a little bit of incidental damage, but that's it.
Any incidental damage is good if it can't break through.
Ooh, the Doom is really high flux.
A monitor has died.
I think the Champion saved it. I think the Champion's gonna save the Doom.
Destroyer over there is a problem.
The Eagle's trying to solo the Tesseract. That's brave.
Not wise.
No. The Hill's doing work there. Hills are doing a lot of work.
Yep, that's it for that destroyer.
That was a solid cleanup down there.
If they can deal with the resultant frigates and attack wings without too much trouble, they might be able to focus down this Tesseract.
Maybe. You know, because they have to sacrifice the Conquest to kill the first one.
Yeah, the loss of that Conquest hurt. And a monitor's down.
Yeah, I don't know if they have enough offense to take out a Tesseract. The Doom, maybe. You know, if they can get
They
some
have a lot of hard
it.
flux weapons, so they could.
Yeah, oh, another monitor down.
Unfortunately, and this Eagle is hurting as well. There's a fair amount of focus on this Tesseract, but I don't know if it's enough. There's a monitor distracting it now, though.
You know, I wish the champions had heavy needlers instead of HVTs.
I'm very fond of both those weapons. I could go either way.
Yeah. I do like HVTs. HVTs are great weapons, but I really feel they only do half the DPS, and I really feel that right now.
They're easier on your flux, though. And I like the EMP from the HVDs. It means that you're getting an effect even if you're hitting armor.
That's true. They're good guns. They are good guns.
Monitor down.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. They don't have the power to take down this Tesseract.
They nearly do.
Yeah.
If the Doom would come over here and help!
Yeah, if the Doom got a good mind strike on it when it was like floating down from Ion or something.
Or even just jump up its arse with
different.
the heavy blasters it has.
Yeah.
The fact that these frigates are still alive is also really hurting them.
There's
Whatever those are called, shards?
There's not enough anti-shield damage in this fleet.
There was more than enough anti-shield. Certainly more than some of the other fleets that did win. Just...
I guess so. I feel like the way to clean up Remnant frigates, or not Remnant, Omega frigates is with heavy kinetics. But... Yikes. Well, we have... Peach Patrol is still our winner.
think so. The Conquest death, yeah, I'm... the damage output on these things, man. And the defense, and the mobility, and the everything else. I hate them.
let's be real here. The Tesseract that took out the Conquest, it only died because of a shield mishandling mistake. Like, it was set to kill the Conquest and retreat without dying. Oh man, that poor Doom.
It's trying so hard.
Yeah. It was very unlucky that the Doom separated from the rest of the fleet. I think if the Doom had been with the champions, maybe things would have gone differently.
I also think the early Afflictor death didn't really help.
Oh yeah, that was real bad. It's real bad.
I think the Afflictor mattered a bit more than, you know, you would imagine.
Yeah. Well, a somewhat unlucky run just spirals out of control. Just, you know, it's kind of what we expect with enemies this dangerous.
This fleet's win condition is cheesing the AI. Monitor held on to the end.
Monitor did a good job, but the monitors also block allied shots. I don't know. For all that I like monitors, fleets using them haven't done all that great.
They got close.
They killed the most dangerous Tesseract, but they paid too heavy a price doing it.
Unfortunately.
As Alien Space Kappa says, win by the AI, lose by the AI.
Yep. Alright, so 300 DP, 1.8 million.
And here is Ruby.
Ruben, with nearly the same, slightly more DP. That's just all champions. And some monitors.
Yep. Let's take a close look at these loadouts.
We're champions in a game of League. Okay.
Okay.
Pulsars, Paladin, Hurricane. And a lot of hull mods. The monitors, these are essentially the same monitors as we just saw, except they have Reapers.
They do have solar shielding on them, so that'll help their toughness a little bit versus some of their weapons.
The champions have solar shielding too.
You know, I thought a lot of the Omega weapons weren't energy.
This is... What? This is Ruben's plan.
This is... You know, I don't want to doubt you, Ruben, because you keep winning things. You keep winning things over and over again. But I don't see how this works. I mean, I guess it does work. Could we see the weapon group on the champion? Okay, nothing special.
Okay. Correct him about what? Also, I should start the bet thing now.
I don't see how this is gonna win, but like, I don't want to bet against Ruby. That's like... Why would you say... Why...
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I heard you the first time. Relax,
Huh.
mate. Kinda focused on another thing. You're not wrong, however. I mean, the monitors will be... Thank you, Sensible Penguin. The monitors will be a really good distraction.
You know, the paladins are gonna fire over the monitors.
That's
because
true.
They have overfire capabilities, so that's good.
I don't imagine this will win. But, like, previous performances have been really good. Again, it's like you said, I don't want to doubt Ruby, but at the same time, I can't imagine, based on what we've seen so far, that this would claim victory.
I mean, champions are good, and there's a lot of... This fleet is pretty tough. Like, let's take a quick look at one of those champions again. It's got solar shielding and hardening shielding, right?
It does, it does. ECCM, expanded missiles for the Hurricane.
It's like, it's got good shield toughness going on here. I don't know. We'll see. You know what?
Alright.
I don't know. Yeah?
Impress me!
Let us watch genius in action. It is 12 of them.
It is, and if those monitors can run sufficient distraction, maybe that's enough?
I think it comes down to the Hurricanes. If the Hurricanes can get around the shield arcs, you know, like they sneak by, and if they can just whittle them down with Hurricanes, that would work.
Hurricanes are mostly being aimed at the Tesseract with less defenses. Less point defense, I should say.
Some of them did hit. Some of those Hurricanes did hit.
That was a Reaper hit on the shields.
Yeah. I mean, it is just an unending stream of Hurricanes.
But it can just back off. Can, but decided to jump back in.
Yeah, this is kind of best case scenario for this fleet. Is the ship refusing to back off? Oh, there it goes. Okay, there's the ion pulsars. The monitors are doing good work. Really good work.
Oh, nearly.
Where's the other Tesseract? What's it doing? Is it just completely distracted by a single monitor?
Yeah, it is.
You know, the other fleets could have used that amount of good luck. This is actually going really well. You know that it doesn't have any anti-shield, but the remnants are.
The problem is that they've been
anything
relying
their shield.
entirely on the Hurricane, and this Tesseract isn't going to have any of that. It just deleted several sent at it.
Yeah. Well, so far so good. Ruby's fleet has taken 0 losses and has killed the most dangerous of the Tesseracts. There's a good amount of luck involved there, but it has done it. Let's see. One champion there's in trouble though.
Yeah, I'm not sure... With the Hurricanes not working, I'm not sure what the plan is from here. Because I don't think Ion Pulsars and Paladins are enough. I could be wrong.
The overfire capability of the Paladin is doing quite well.
If there was more focus, perhaps. There aren't enough champions focusing on the one Tesseract, though.
Okay, so that's the first loss. First loss for Ruby. 1 champion down.
Oh, there's all the champions.
You know, I have to say that the AI on the Tesseract side has done exactly the wrong thing in a way that it didn't with other fights. You know, maybe that's just a good fleet build here.
There are many champions left, and they're reduced to 1 Tesseract, 2 shards. It's not impossible Ruby wins. It would be difficult, I think.
The Paladin PD is really fantastic against fighters.
There are 3 monitors distracted by these attack wings. Those monitors should be down here.
Well, the fact that the monitors managed to bring off an entire Tesseract earlier was really powerful.
That was definitely in their favor. Imagine if it had been the other Tesseract, though.
Yes.
I think it was lucky that they managed to get the concentrated Hurricanes on the Tesseract that was less able to deal with that. Because this one just deletes any Hurricane sent at it.
Yeah. It's...
I don't know if it is sufficiently outnumbered. We've seen this specific Tesseract take out 5 champions before, just one after the other.
Yeah. These champions do have very good shields. You know, these Hurricanes can't last forever. They're gonna run out eventually.
I think a fair number of the champions have already run out. Plus, the Hurricanes are barely doing anything. Now, those Ion Pulsars are helping.
A really good Ion Pulsar hit there. Are they gonna be able to capitalize?
Well, they've got nothing but Pulsars and Paladins. They have a limited ability to capitalize. I think there's still a few Hurricanes, but not many.
Okay, Hurricane's coming in.
Immediately deleted.
Maybe 1 or 2 hits. They got a few hits there. But like...
Do the Tesseracts suffer from CR at all, by the way?
I've never seen one. But my fights with Tesseracts are usually either I die or they die very quickly.
How's the rest of the fleet doing? Taking out remnants of attack wings, I think. There are still, like, 2 monitors up here now. If the monitors could get down here and help distract... This thing has still not taken any noteworthy damage.
Yeah,
the champions, however, are.
It is slowly winning. I mean, both of these lower champions. Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Lack of hard flux, unfortunately.
You know, this started real well, but I'm worried.
There's 9 champions left that I can see.
Right, like Ruby is winning so far, but it just the fleet just doesn't have any way to deal with this one Tesseract.
Nope.
This has too much point defense.
How will the timeout change this, I wonder?
I don't know. Do you know whether the... I wonder if the Tesseract has sufficient weight to cause the Griffins to tick down in CR.
Champions, you mean?
Does.
Another monitor
Ooh,
dead to the
monitors.
attack wings up there.
Monitor just died.
More betting than competing?
Yeah, I think...
I mean, if it's a measured bet...
I do think that if it wasn't this variant, this fleet probably works.
If the champions could surround it, they'd win. It doesn't have a 360 shield.
Yeah, there it goes. There's another one down.
Unfortunately, it has the ability to pick its fights.
Yeah. So I don't see the CR in any of these champions decreasing, but they have a long CR clock, don't they? They're heavy cruisers.
They do, they do. The Tesseract is beginning to take damage.
Yeah.
At the very
Overfire
least, its armor's been stripped, but
really nice.
they have to actually get through the shield. Really? You left the champion with an empty health bar? That's just mean.
I think it's gonna, yeah, it killed it with the death explosion of the other one. That's just style points.
That is not nice. No. As good as this was,
It almost worked. It really did almost work.
the Tesseract is still taking damage here and there, as far as I can tell, just due to bad decisions, but...
Right. And it does get flamed out, it does lose its weapon slots, but then it turns them on, back on again very quickly. It has a time dilation system and an officer. I think the last monitor just died.
Yep. And I think the monitors were distracting the attack wings, which will make this even harder for the champions.
Yeah. Although I kind of want to see, if there's 12 champions all with paladins, I really wonder how fast they could clean up the fighter wings. All firing over each other.
Oh,
I
there's
guess
one.
we'll see pretty soon.
There are actually a couple monitors left. They're losing, but they're there. They're running out of CR though.
Gotcha.
The champions are beginning to lose CR. The Tesseract so far has not.
Yeah, this really almost worked. And against the first Tesseract, we saw the power of the massed hurricanes. They just went right around the shield and popped it.
But not enough here. And now the attack wings are coming out on the champions.
Yep. So let's see. 4 champions versus...
They got shredded.
God damn. Okay, so we can see what this fleet struggles with. This fleet struggles with the Tesseracts, but once it pops them, it seems very well equipped.
So the bet was to pop them fast. Tesseract has infinite PPT? Well, screw it then.
Oh, that's such a hard hit. I love the visuals. I love the black void.
The visuals are nice. You can see that they've got some Mervs left, they're just not using them because they don't see an opportunity.
And to be fair, they're right. Like, this ship has enough point defense that it's just going to shoot them down. And you can see that the ion pulsers did do their job. They're arcing through the shields. Weapons are disabled. But it's just not enough.
Yeah, I think this was an excellent theory. Very well put together. But, despite some good luck, it didn't work.
So that champion is in panic fire mode now.
Yep. I mean, it has maybe a sliver of health left.
How's that Tesseract doing? How hurt is it?
It's at about half.
Oof.
Armor's been shredded off the front. Apparently one in testing, so bad luck. I mean, they had a couple of really good things happen for them there.
I am a firm believer that tournaments are cursed and that fleets never work. That's my opinion.
It does not help that the AI can be interesting.
That is true.
Terminal is always 10 times worse than in simulations. That just means that when you're in simulations, make the enemy fleet 10 times worse. If you still win, you'll win the tournament.
Hooray!
I'm sorry, champion, but you're all that's left. You and your sliver of hull.
So, this means that Peach Patrols is our winner, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Very nearly a steal, though. Very nearly. Surprisingly, there were more bets that the Doritos were going to lose that one, but unfortunately.
Well, I mean, betting against Ruby is usually not the way to go.
There is, however, a show match.
Oh, what is this? Let's take a look at this thing.
It's what you think it is.
What the hell? What is this thing?
I think Tart made this. I believe it's based off of Warhammer.
Well then. Hello, Plague Titan. Cataclysm class.
Nia? It might have been Nia. I think it's in Seeker, so I think it's Tart. I could be wrong, though. The two of them have worked together.
It might be Sprite by Nia. You know, they collaborate.
So I'm not going to turn on bets for this one, because this is just another showcase. However.
Seeker, seeker, seeker. Now those things on the side look like they look like modules. So those are big gun platform modules, 3 to a side.
Yep, 6 of them. Total, 3 to a side. This thing is cruel. I don't know if you were there for the tournament where it was the boss. Thank you, Ravensworth 83.
I feel like the front of this sprite is a little dark. It's very ominous. Gorgeous weapon trails.
Could be.
Ooh, and custom shield graphics too. I like that a lot.
I adore the sentences. We use them correctly. The best shield graphics I've ever seen, in my opinion, are actually off of the Cops mod.
Really?
Because it was this beautiful rotating hexagon effect.
Oh, that's neat.
It's not one of the more popular mods, but I have never seen a shield I loved more. It's also a somewhat buggy mod that hasn't updated in a while that has a crash to desktop in it, but the shield graphics are so pretty.
Well, I can only see this ending one way. This ship has not taken any significant flux pressure whatsoever. It is, you know, we were talking about how do you make an end-game boss other than Matt, you know, with more speed, more DPS. Well, here's this with even more DPS and higher shield stats and etc., etc. So this is a slow version of a boss.
It has a system that pulls things close to it.
That's fun. Its flux is actually about 2/3.
Yep. And it's not able to secure kills too easily on these things, partially because they're switching out.
It's amazing though that we talk about how high the shields. Ooh, actually, that's a lot of disables.
As horrible as this thing is, it is a lot more balanced than the Tesseracts.
Yeah. So that was a pretty significant hit there. Took a little bit of shield damage, but I think that the weapons being knocked offline might be a bigger deal.
They probably will. That probably will end up being a bigger deal. Yeah.
I think they're back up now, but let's see. It's amazing we've been talking about how, you know, the Tesseract's shield bar barely moves when it's under dual storm needler fire, but then versus this thing, they look like normal ships.
Considering this was an end of tournament secret boss,
Oh, absolutely.
the fact that the
Absolutely.
Tesseracts are still putting up this much of a fight is telling.
Well, all I can say is that, you know, congratulations to all the people who beat the Tesseracts. Big leaks, but they got the job done.
What tournament was it in? It was in Tardeflet's, like, big blowout. I think the 10th? I think the 10th. The 10th was also the first time I joined a tournament, and then later, I think I did an emergency co-hosting for it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a win. You can just see the sheer DPS is enough to overwhelm the Tesseracts, which is good. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. The boss should have high DPS.
It was also after the 10th tournament that I harassed you, Thago, about, hey, how do I stream?
Ah, yes. The good days before you were screwed. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Would not blame you.
Uh,
Very scuffed.
This is a fun fight. It's nice to watch a super boss ship like this just lay into things.
It is, it is.
Oh, I noticed that it has an officer. I can see that little. I see that little symbol.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you had a horrible time of it, Fluff. I do apologize for what happened to you during the tournament. No fault of your own. Just, you didn't really know what you were up to.
Oh yeah, the boss ship has taken a little bit of hull damage. Just a little bit.
It doesn't care too much about being surrounded since it has gun modules on either side.
Yeah, and I'm guessing each of those modules has its own independent flux pool.
Yeah, they technically count as separate ships.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of the huge advantages of modules, is that the shield, the offense and defense are no longer coupled. Offense and defense are separate when you have modules.
Yeah, Fluff, I mean, I know you've already been told this, but definitely would have been a better time had you teamed up with somebody who knew what they were doing. The 10th tournament, as I recall, a lot of the point of the 10th tournament was to punish people who'd been getting really good at the whole ship loadout thing. A really meaty challenge, that is. This thing actually
your
loses to
module?
certain variants? Wow.
Oh, a module just went down.
Oh yeah, it lost one of the gun ports.
I don't think it's not going to be enough, but it's taking damage.
I think it is going to win, which is a bit satisfying to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's mopped up. It's mopped up like 2/3 of the Tesseract so far. One of them's completely dead. It looks like, you know, I don't know how much damage that lightning system did, but the fighters that were on it earlier basically did nothing. And that looked like a super tachyon lance or something.
That was a twin tachyon.
So there we go. It took some damage, which just shows how tough the Tesseracts are. That this beast of a ship took some real damage.
It's the Fauchard? Yeah. Which is probably French, but I don't know what it means.
Why would Darflet use French words? Well, it's a type of polearm, right? It's a type of two-handed polearm.
I believe it is, yes. I actually really like polearm weapons in general. Just as an aesthetic.
Sure you do.
Well, that's it, but for the attack wings. You can do it!
Woo! I do love the graphics, that the pale pink beams overlapping with a little bit of like stutter effect. It's very beautiful.
Very.
Cool.
Alright, were there any other showcases? The Daddy Cometh. Nope, back to the power of love!
Let's take one more look at the winning fleet. I want to see what it took to actually beat these.
So it
this
was
the
Peach
winning
Patrol's
fleet.
Bruise Cruise who managed to do it the cheapest.
Yeah. So midline takes it.
Surprisingly, like the other two fleets that won, we had Prasperat Astra, which was, you know, very high, well, kind of high tech. We had the Griffins and the Champions, Paragons and Odysseys. We had obviously Paragon to hell. But then just slightly less, different fits of exactly what Peach Patrol did is what lost.
Yeah. Yeah, Peach Patrol just had solid fits on a solid lineup. A big lineup. Like, Ruby's fleet almost managed it at like 2/3 the cost, something like that.
Now let me ask you something. Which ship did you notice was in every bloody fleet?
It was a champion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and champions are good.
Deskup let me know about that beforehand. That's why it's the cup holder right now.
Yeah. I think, you know, if you look at champion versus dominator, I kind of like dominators, but not with no officers against these enemies. They're
Thank
just
you,
not
Kappa.
memorable enough. Yeah.
Well, Deskup, is there anything else, or do we have a successfully run tournament? As scuffed as it is with me. Assuming Deskup's still here, he might have fallen asleep. He, she, it, they. We are done? Alright.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me talk at everyone without doing any work.
It's lovely having you around, mate.
Yeah.
Congratulations to, let's see, I believe it was Aster, Astral Tour, and Peach Patrol for winning, and Peach Patrol especially for managing to win the cheapest. Sorry to everyone
Peach
else
Patrol.
for, in most cases, coming close, but not managing it. I'm sorry. Oh, and sorry to the one dude for not understanding that you weren't allowed to have the player skills. At least you submitted a fleet. And with that, I guess we're done. Well, I will see you all some other time, probably when I organize the next tournament, because I want to do that. And I'm incensed that I had to cancel the other one. So, sayonara. And I will stop stream now.